Why am I being forced to do housework? I'm 29 male girlfriend is 25 female. I've been with my girlfriend for just over a year. Before meeting her, I had a cleaner that would come over once a week for the major cleaning things. I'm a neat and tidy person, there's no clothes on the floor or anything. After meeting my girlfriend, she refused to allow the cleaner to come and said that we have to do it ourselves. She was a student and I was working, so she would do most of it, and was happy with this even though I offered to pay for a cleaner pretty much every week. She graduated last November and is starting work soon, and instead of hiring a cleaner, she's insisting that we continue to do it ourselves, but now 50-50. I have a full-time job in finance plus a small business. 5 hours a week, 99% from home, so not a big deal. I just don't understand her logic when I could easily pay for a cleaner and forget about this. We just had the biggest fight of our relationship, and she won't tell me why she's so insistent on us doing the housework. If someone thinks this is a money thing, it's not. We wouldn't even notice the money going out. I feel insane. It's your place. Hire the damn cleaner. Jesus. I suggest telling your girlfriend that if she can't explain why she doesn't want you to have a cleaner, that you're going to hire one anyway. You deserve to know her reasons, and she owes you that explanation. Hire a cleaner to do your part. Let her do the part she wants. My 30M, last relationship with 28F, ended because we couldn't agree on prenup. How do I handle this better next time? I 30M broke up with my girlfriend 28F of about 2 years because we couldn't agree on a prenup. I wanted to understand if there's something obviously unfair about what I suggested that I'm missing and how I should handle this in future relationships. The context. She makes around $55,000 annually and has about $35,000 debt. I make around $300,000 a year and have no debt. After a few months of dating, due to the gap in income, there was an unspoken understanding that I would pay for most activities we did together. I always offered to pay for date nights, dinners, movies, and anything we did together. It was never a big deal. We enjoyed each other's company, and we were both fine with it. Sometimes, she would insist on paying, and I would let her. Primarily, these are what I suggested for the prenup. 1. Each of us stays responsible for our own premarital debt. 2. Anything we own/had before the marriage stays separate. 3. After marriage, I'd continue to cover all the essential expenses. Rent/mortgage, groceries, utilities, childcare, etc. 4. She can put her entire paycheck into her own savings, and that money would stay hers even if we got a divorce. She didn't want to sign it and said it was unfair. She was fine with 3 and 4, but the first 2 points were unacceptable to her. I told her that I may help her with her debt, but I don't want to be legally responsible for it. She got very emotional and asked if I wanted the prenup because I'm planning to leave her once I get a green card. I'm here legally but not a citizen. She is a citizen. Honestly, I found that pretty offensive because I have worked hard and lived way below my means to be financially independent, and it means more to me than permanent residency. I'm incredibly grateful to the U.S. for the opportunities it has provided me, but now that I have achieved my financial goals, I don't mind leaving the U.S. Later, she apologized for saying that, but I think it's something I'd have to keep hearing if I continued the relationship, so we ended things. When I got divorced, I kept everything that was mine before the marriage. I thought that was how all divorces were, even without a prenup. Anything we obtained during our marriage, we split. Did this ever get reviewed by a lawyer for either of you? Info. Are you planning you have kids, and will she stay at home? A lot of times it's about the idea of the prenup and not the actual terms. Is it perhaps she doesn't like a prenup at all? The info will help any answers. How do I, 26F, tell my parents, 59M and 56F, that they're not invited to my wedding? I am getting married next year, and my sister is my maid of honor. My sister is my best friend. She's always been there for me. She practically raised me. My parents were not great, really at all. They were abusive, and they have recognized that. I have a relationship with them now, but it's only been after a lot of emotional labor and them finally going to therapy. My sister has completely no contact with my parents. They haven't met either of her children, whom I have a very strong bond with, and she hasn't spoken to them in years. My sister and I have had a lot of conversation, but bottom line, she can't handle being in the same room as them, which I understand and I support her. At the end of the day, their abuse is why we're in this situation in the first place. I want to meet with my parents in person and tell them. It feels more respectful than just sending a text. especially for such a big occasion, but I'm stuck on how to tell them they can't come to my wedding while also trying to keep our growing relationship intact. I feel like my parents have made a lot of genuine progress, and their apologies to me feel sincere, and I don't want all of the emotional labor and time I have put into this relationship to go to waste. Edit. I have been improving my relationship with my parents over the last 5 years. They already know I'm getting married, lol. My mom calls me every couple weeks and we talk. I've told my mother in a previous conversations that I will never be okay with the things done to us as children, that I don't understand it, and it will never be justified. But I see who she is now, and I can have a relationship with the person she has become, and that's where we are. You actually don't have to tell them anything. I came from neglectful alcoholic parents. I don't consider myself to owe them anything, and you shouldn't either. A text is more than adequate. If their progress is really genuine, they'll understand. If not, it's not worth the drama. Tell them via text. Give them time to process it. But don't accept their tantrums or guilt trips. How can I, 30F, snap out of resentment caused by lack of relationship progress with boyfriend 40M? We have been together for soon 8 years, and we live together. Early in the relationship, I made it clear that marriage is important to me, and I brought it up every now and then. Not in a demanding way, but just to dream about our future and gauge his feelings and ideas around the topic. He never said that he didn't want to get married. Eventually I noticed that we ran out of excuses not to get married, be it COVID, moving cities, one being in between jobs. I still lived under the assumption that we'd marry eventually. But once the natural excuses and reasons to postpone it were not there, I noticed that he'd never bring up the topic. He didn't even mention the word, and if I brought it up, he basically started doing something else and just fully avoided the topic. There were no conflicts. He just wouldn't engage in any kind of dialogue. I even broke down in tears a few times, but it never led anywhere, and eventually I accepted that we'd never get married. Now the issue is that this has ruined the relationship for me. I don't want to celebrate birthdays or our anniversary. I feel like there is nothing to expect or look forward to as a couple. I feel as if I lost my femininity, softness, and confidence somewhere in this relationship. He made me feel like as if settling for less than bare minimum is enough, and that I don't deserve anything better. I am so angry and on a bad mood all the time, but I want to be able to snap out of this emotional prison and somehow enjoy the relationship as it is, because if I could cut off this huge, black cancer out, that being these thoughts I have, the relationship isn't half bad. Hope you kept your finances separate. When you were 22, marriage was sometime in the future. You're 30 and the future is now. Time to cut ties and find someone more serious. Just break up and move on to someone who knows how they feel about you. A man knows within 2 years whether he sees commitment or not. You're wasting precious time in this failing relationship. Very gently Opie, he doesn't want to marry you. If he wanted to, it would have happened already. He's stringing you along. You are only 30. Leave and find someone who wants what you want.